Babay ako at may silbi sa lipunan di paaapi. Isinusulong ko mga layunin, karapatan sa mga usapin. Sa edukasyon at pagsasanay, kahirap ang kalusugan taglay. Pakikipaglaban sa karahasan, pati sa matungtong galian. Babay akong may panindigan, di matitinag kailan pa man. Babay ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan. Malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako. Sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan, sinuan ako. Babay ako, kayang pamunuan, magdesisyon para sa karamihan. Mekanismong dulot ay pagunlad, sa kababaihang ipatutupad. Sa usaping ekonomiya, karapatang pagtaot ng media. Sa kabataan, kalikasan, pagsunod ng buong sambayanan. Babay akong may panindigan, di matitinag kailan pa man. Babay ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan. Malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako. Sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan, sinuan ako. Ako si Juana, babaeng palaban, ang hamon ng buhay dito susukuan. Kung may kapal sa'yo'y nananali, handang harapin anuman ang malaki. Ako si Juana, babaeng palaban, ang hamon ng buhay dito susukuan. Juana ko, si Juana ko. Babay ako, may panindigan, di matitinag kailan pa man. Babay ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan. Malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako. Sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan, babay ako. Babay ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan. Malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako. Sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan, sinuan ako. Sinuan ako. Sinuan ako. Sinuan ako. Sinuan ako.
Good afternoon, everyone. To formally start our webinar for today, let us pause for a while for our opening prayer to be followed by our national hymns.
Shall we bow our heads and feel the presence of God? Let us pray. Our most gracious Lord and loving Heavenly Father, Creator of heaven and earth, we offer our thanksgiving and praise to you for the countless blessings of good health, providence, protection, and deliverance. Lord, we humbly come before your holy presence, asking forgiveness for all the shortcomings we committed against you. Please continue to guide us that we may walk in accordance to your will. Dear Lord, we commit ourselves to you. May your Holy Spirit continue to inspire us amidst the challenges we are facing these times. Keep our faith stronger and give us wisdom as we undertake the responsibilities upon our shoulders. May your unfailing love radiate in each heart, that we may take away all the negativities within. Please grant us, Lord, the success to all our endeavors, for to you we offer all the glory and honor. All of this we pray in the precious name of Jesus, our Savior. Amen.
Noon pa man, malaki na ang naging bahagi ng mga kababaihan sa lipunang Pilipino. Kaisa sila sa marubdob na paghahangad ng kalayaan ng ating lahi. Kabilang sila sa paglinang ng ating makulay na sining at mayamang kultura. Kasapi sila sa pagtataguyod ng mga adhikain ng kapwa mamamayan at sa pagtugon sa mga pangangailangan ng lipunan. Katuwang sila sa pagtuklas sa mga larangan ng agham at medisina. Kapanalig sila sa pagpapairal ng batas, karapatan at katarungan para sa lahat. Kabahagi sila sa paglilingkod sa bayan at sa pagpapanatili ng demokrasyang Pilipino. Sa paglipas ng panahon, hindi nagmaliw ang kanilang pag-ibig sa ating inang bayan. Mga kababayan, ito ang alay ng mga kababaihang Pilipino para sa bayan. Tumayo po tayong lahat at sabay-sabay nating awitin ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Kayang magiliw, dala sa silanganan, alam ng puso, sa dilim mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, dulot na ng mag-ibig, sa manlulupin, di ka masisingil, sa lahat ng lubog, sa sigat at sa langit mong babang, may ginagang tula at awit sa paglayang minamahal. Ang isang ng patawat mo'y tagumpay na naglilingin, ang ituwing na araw ng kailan pa may madilim. Lupa ng araw ng walhati pagsigaw, buhay langit sa piling mo. Ang hindi kaya ng pagpay makahangin, ang mamatay ng dahil sa'yo. Ina
start, I will now read the netiquette or reminders. First, in line with the Data Privacy Act, please be informed that this webinar is being recorded. Attendance to this online activity indicates your approval and consent to all information gathered in the activity. Second, utilize the emoticons and chat function in the YouTube chat box while attending the webinar. Be polite and courteous at all times. Additional reminders: don't forget to answer the online evaluation form and online attendance sheet. A link will be posted before the end of the webinar. Note that the online evaluation form and attendance sheet will only be open until March 18, 2023 at 12 noon. E-certificates will be provided. Please give us time to send it to you. For concerns with certificates, please send an email through the Tagbilaran City College gad@gmail.com. Good afternoon, TCCians, and welcome to our webinar for today. It is entitled Introduction to God Concepts and Sexual Orientation, Gender Identity and Expression, and Sex Characteristics webinar. To formally welcome you all, may I call on our very own maagpik na Guidance Counselor of Tagbilaran City College, Ma'am Grace Delasahento, for her statement of purpose and welcome address.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Nikki. To our ever-dynamic college administrator, Dr. Delmar Cagatin, our program chairpersons, administrative heads and staff, faculty, and to all our participants today, our dear TCCians, good afternoon. Gender equality is not only a fundamental human right, but a necessary foundation for a peaceful, prosperous, and sustainable world. Everyone can help to make sure that we meet these global goals. As part of the month-long celebration of the National Women's Month, I am pleased to welcome everyone in today's webinar on Introduction to God Concepts and Sexual Orientation, Gender Identity and Expression, and Sex Characteristics, or SOGIESC. This webinar enables us to develop an awareness and understanding of how gender bias and gender issues are perpetrated by social institutions such as the family, school, media, faith, market, and legal system, which leads to gender discrimination and gender inequality. I would like to thank you all in advance for being part of this momentous event, for participating, and for lending your time and minds on this important topic. May you be able to learn more as we move along with the discussion from our vibrant speaker to discuss relevant issues in the fight to attain gender equality and mainstreaming. Enjoy, have fun, and learn more, TCCians.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Grace. And without further ado, may I have the honor to introduce our guest speaker this afternoon. She successfully finished her classes on advanced theories of personality, career guidance, program development, group process, and on-the-job training at Cebu Normal University on 2019. Passed the licensure examination of guidance counselor last August 2022. She does counseling sessions, consultancy in the field of guidance and counseling, talks and provides workshops on her free days. She is also an on-call research educator or panelist in senior high school and graduate programs. She has also been invited to talk on awareness and motivational programs about mental health, self-care, emotion regulation, growth mindset, mindfulness, stress and anger management skills, transitioning to retirement and old age, depression, and suicide. She has also experienced guesting at a radio program and talked on various mental health concerns. A registered guidance counselor, certified mental health first responder, trained on cognitive behavioral therapy in managing cases of depression and suicidality, psych and counseling enthusiast, mental health advocate, and Guidance Counselor of Holy Spirit School of Tagbilaran. Please help me welcome Miss Carlene Claire S. Ribulia, MA, RGC, and CMHFR. A round of applause, please.
Okay, hello everyone. So, I am Miss Carlene Claire S. Redulia. I will be with you for today's online learning session. But before everything else, I'd like to express my heartfelt gratitude to Miss Grace De Rosahento, the Guidance Counselor of Tagbilaran City College. Thank you so much for invited me to be part of this learning journey with your students when it comes to understanding gender and development concepts. So right now, I'm sure everybody is all aware regarding the Women's Month theme, which is We for Gender Equality and Inclusive Society. Hashtag We Can Be Equal. So now let's proceed with our learning session on understanding gender and development concepts. So the objectives for this day session are this learning session aims learners to develop understanding on the basic concepts of gender and sex. Another is to recognize societal concerns on gender and sexual orientation, and then to help in the elimination of gender discrimination and ensure a gender sensitive, a healthy, and a safe learning environment. And lastly, to promote gender equality and inclusivity as learners and as growing individuals or citizens. Okay, so let us try to have this two questions now for us to start with our learning session. So first is what is gender? Second is what is sex? So with this, let's try having this very quick virtual exercise. I know I'm not sure if you are all in a hall at the moment or in your classrooms, but you can try this one. You can have it on your notebooks if you're having your notes at this time. If you are tasked to to write notes, then you can actually join me with this virtual exercise. Okay, so let us have first this. Okay, so we are going to choose if it's G or S. So G is for gender and S for sex. Okay, so I'll give you 10 statements, and then you can have your own answers there on your notes or papers. Okay, let's start. Let us have number one. Women give birth to babies and men do not. So what is this? Is it G or S? Okay, so if you've chosen S or sex, then that's correct. Okay, number two. Little girls are gentle, yet boys are rough. So what is it? Is it gender or sex? So if you've chosen letter G, then you're right. Okay. Now, number three. According to UN statistics, women only held 28% of managerial positions worldwide in the year 2019. So what is this? G or S? Is it gender or sex? So I hope everybody got the correct answer. It's gender. Okay? Okay, number four. In the rural areas, women are paid lower than the wage for men. Is this gender or is this sex? Okay, so the answer here is letter G. So that's gender. Okay, Next, number 5. Women can breastfeed babies while men can bottle feed babies. Is this gender or is this sex? So if you answer there sex, then you're correct. Okay. Next, number 6. Most building site workers in the Philippines are men. Is this gender or is this sex? And so if your answer there is gender, then you're correct. Okay, that's of the 7th. In ancient Egypt, men stayed at home and did living. Women handled family business, and women inherited property, and men did not. So what is this, learners? Is this gender or sex? If your answer there is sex, then you're wrong. So the correct answer here is G. That's gender. Okay. Number 8, men's voices break at puberty and women's do not. Okay. Is this G or S? So if your answer there is letter S, then that's correct. Okay, hopefully you are having 8 right answers already. Okay, number 9. In one study of 224 cultures, there were 5 in which men did all the cooking and 36 in which women did all the house building. So is this gender or is this sex? So if your answer is G, then you're correct. And the last number, in one documented case, a child who was brought up as a girl then learned that he was actually a boy, his school marks improved dramatically. Is this letter G or letter S? So if your answer there is letter G, then you're correct. Okay, that's great. So who got perfect 10? Or who got 2 wrongs? Okay? Or who got 5 correct answers? Or if you've got 3 correct answers right now, I tell you that's okay and that's very fine for me, okay? So you don't have to worry about your answers. No worries because we are going to learn what are this gender and what is also sex along the way. Now, so how do you feel about the virtual exercise? Okay, even if we're not facing personally at the moment, my dear learners, so I just hope that your mind, okay, your mind and your heart right now is with me at the moment, okay? And so together, let's learn this activity. So, how do you feel about the virtual exercise? Okay, I hope everybody was feeling excited with the questions and even the answers, okay? So, what struck you most from the activity? And what are your thoughts or insights right now after trying the activity? Okay, so next. So, let's try to differentiate sex and gender. So, what is this sex and what is this gender, my dear learners? So, let's start. Sex. This refers to the biological and physiological characteristics that define men and women. So, again, sex is into biological differences. So, if you are familiar, if familiar with the physical characteristics of the men and women, no, then that's part of sex. So there is what we call here primary sex characteristics and secondary sex characteristics. So the primary sex characteristics, example for this is the male and the female genitalia. While for the secondary sex characteristics, it's more of like the hair, no, the facial hair, no, the bodily hairs, and many more, no. So it differs on genitalia, internal reproductive organs, no, the chromosomes and hormones of the men and women. So for example, no, at least for us to really be refreshed with the characteristics of sex. So example here is women menstruate while men do not, no? Women develop breasts that are usually capable of lactating while men do not have. Women give birth, of course. Men can supply sperm. Men have testicles while women do not have. For other words, sex characteristics cannot be changed, no? So what has appeared during your when you were given birth, then that is already yours until you'll get old also. Okay? So it cannot be changed. Okay, because that's a biological and physiological characteristics. It's a natural one. So on the other hand, the gender. So this refers to the socially determined and culturally defined characteristics of men and women. So this is not a time that we hear those words like masculine and then feminine. So it's when it comes to masculine, that's for male, and for feminine, that's for female, no? So the gender is socially constructed, no? So what are those socially constructed when it comes to gender? It includes roles, no, the role of the men and women in the society, their relationships, the personality traits, no, the attitudes, behaviors, and values which are expected by a man or a woman, no? The relative power, no, and influence that society ascribes to the two sexes on a different basis. So there are it's a socially constructed uh, uh, concept uh, when it comes to gender. No, so it's like example here is uh, the attitude or behavior which are expected for a man. So what could it be? Huh? Does a man need or the society would describe a man uh, as a good decision maker or a strong one, no? Or when it comes to feminine for the female, so it can be most likely women are like mahinhin, no? What else? And many more, no? Which are really socially constructed and it is being expected by the society to both sexes. Okay, that's for gender. So I hope it's not um, confusing already what is sex and gender. So when you are able to answer uh, what is this, a personal information sheet. So when it's stated there, you need to check your sex so you know already what is it. So it's female or male. Okay, so that's it. So now I have this picture here, and hopefully this is clear to you, my dear learners. So I just want you to reflect on the picture that you are looking right now. Okay, so what do you see in this picture? Okay, hopefully, you are having your thoughts right now while you are looking into this picture. Just reflect on this one. Okay. Because if we are facing no at this time personally, no, I'm sure I would really be asking you what is in your mind right now. So if your thoughts right now, or if your thoughts right now are like gender stereotyping, gender role, gender inequality, gender equity, and many more, then actually your thoughts are all right. No, we're on the right track. No, because again, we are all learning here. So if you could see in the picture, my dear learners, there are two groups there. So the group of women and the group of men. And so, presumably, no, if we are going to say something on this about the picture, there is a concern that's really going on in the picture or in that society that they're in. So it can be okay because there is a a conversation there which really states the word water. So maybe there is a concern with regards to the water under place. And so the men were discussing, no? And then somebody asked, what are those women doing at this time? And then somebody answered, women, they are too busy to discuss water. So right now, gisulti pa na siya sa usa ka kalalaki. But then again, if we are going to look into the women, they're busy fetching waters. Even there's one woman who's bringing with her son, no? But when we're going to look into the part of the men are discussing. They're discussing on the concern. And it looks like it's just them who has the right who have the right to discuss, not to plan things out, to do such or to address such concern without the presence of the women. So hopefully at this time, no, in our society, women are being included already in the planning, in the preparation, no, in addressing such issues in the society. Because again, no, it would be good that the men and women are what is it are really helping each other, really together on such things. No, it's not that being excluded at some point ang mga women. Okay, so um, I wish, I can really hear you right now, my dear learners, but hopefully we are getting some insights from this simple picture that we have seen. Okay, how about in your own places? Are the women included when it comes to some concerns? Okay, are the women invited to be part of development programs? Or it's just only for men as mostly all the time? Okay. So you can reflect on that and check on that on your own places when you go home this afternoon. Okay. Now, let's proceed. So I would like to share this historical background on approaches to development. So I got some of this the things that I'll be discussing to you from DepEd, no? Uh, Specifically to Mr. Carlos Tian Chao Corios. He is the GAD focal person of the DepEd Surigao del Sur. At the same time, I also have some informations coming from Philippine Commission on Women, no, from their GAD webinar series. Okay, so if you can search on that, then it's really a good thing. Okay, so let's have this historical background on approaches to development, no? So it started with women in development and then followed with women and development. And then now we have the gender and development. I'm sure you are all familiar with this because again, this talk is under gender in development office, right, in your school. So here, let's start with WID, or the Women in Development. So historically, it says women that are ignored and excluded from the development programs. It requires implementation or integrated projects among women. So if we go back with the picture itself, it seems that the picture really belongs in this women in development, right? Next, women. Okay, so women in development. Okay, so the picture at the same time, again, the women are being ignored, being excluded, or such like the sector which is marginalized. No? Nara siya sa kilid ang mga women. No? Awahi kanunay. It's being left out. But when it comes to women and development, so it argues here that women are already integrated in the development process. But the problem is the planners hold inaccurate assumptions about women's specific activities, which lead to the neglect of real needs and overexploitation of their labor. So yes, here in this part, women are already integrated in the development process. But then again, there's no such accurate thing or picture. Where are really the women at this time, no, at this part of development? Maybe there are women already on that kind of activity, but then again, they're being overexploited with their labors, no? So, kana siya. So that's women in development. So this is now followed with GAD, gender and development. So this is already advocates not only for adding women in the redevelopment process, but also in the rethinking of development concepts and practice as a whole through a gender lens. So women are not only there at this time. Women are not only there, but they're already kanang part of the rethinking process, the planning, the preparation, the decision making process. No, women are beginning to be there. Women are already experiencing those kind of roles that they can speak up, they can share what their thoughts are, no, they can already express on how they can help address such issues in a society. So that's gender in development. So you would really see that men and women in this part are really getting along, no, really helping each other, really joining each other, no, in order to address such things which are needed from both sexes. Okay, so that's the historical background on the approaches to development, no, in the society at this time. So now, how gender operates in our lives. So, if we go back with the gender, the definition of the gender, it's socially constructed, no, and so it starts with gender beliefs. So, how the society, how people look at men and women at this time, how they are being perceived, how women are perceived in the society, how women are perceived in schools, how women are perceived in churches, in politics, and many more. How men are being perceived in the business and marketing fields, and many more. No? So, kana siya. After the gender beliefs, it follows with gender roles. So, what are the roles of the men and women at the moment? What are the expected roles, no? Which are constructed, socially expected from both genders. No? What are the rules? No? Are the men's roles more into leadership roles, or it's more of the women right now? No? After that, the gender roles again, this is equated with gender activities. So what are some activities for the men? No, what are the expected gender activities for the women? No, is it because you're men, so that's why you need to be in the politics? Ah, you're a man, then you can do such things in the business and marketing, no, without recognizing the presence of the women, no? What is really expected? What are those expected activities from both gender or sexes, no? This time, since there are gender activities, so there are expectations from the society. So what are the gender expectations? Of course, from those activities, roles, and beliefs, no? And with that, it is being followed with gender inequality. Here is now the time that gender inequality is happening, no, is being witnessed in the society, is being observed in the society, wherein women are being oppressed. Women do not have much voices than the men, no? Because of such gender um, socially constructed concepts, no? It ends with oppression rather, women oppression. Okay? So, wala yung mga voices ang mga women. Nga naman, is it because of the gender beliefs, roles, activities, expectations, which are being experienced by the men and women? Okay. Sige. So, that's how gender operates in our lives. So, the gender expectations, one's biological sex usually establishes a pattern of gendered expectations. So again, because you're a female, then the society also adds something to that. Okay, you're a female, so you're like this and like that. You have to stay at home and this one. And because you're a man, then you have to do this kind of task and many more. No, because of the gender expectations that we are calling at the moment. No, femininity and masculinity are culture concepts, and such have fluctuating meanings. It is learned differently by different members of culture and are relative to historical and cultural context in which they emerge. So again, the gender expectations also are coming from the different cultures, from the history, and many more. And so it has different meanings for both gender or sexes, no? And again, expectations. So when you think of expectations, so it is expected for a man to be like this. It is expected for a woman to be like this and to be like that and this. Okay. Gender roles and identities. So the gender roles and identities vary among cultures and changes over time. Okay, so the one that we have mentioned a while ago from the gender expectations. So it really depends on the culture, no? What is in the culture of this place or town, wherein women are expected to be like this? What is their role? But then again, it also changes over time. So men and women often differ in the activities they undertake. Okay? So there are really different activities which men and women are doing. They are also they also differ in access and control of resources, no? In participation of decision making, of course, no? So na there have been instances which in men are more into decision making. If we go back with the picture a while ago, no? And then the women are being left out. And in the power, they have to manage their lives. So gender roles and identities really vary among the culture, among the histories, and it also changes over time. Depends also what's happening on this on a certain place, and that's it. Okay. Okay, let's proceed. So gender roles, what are this? Gender roles are the expectations for behavior and attitudes that the culture defines as appropriate men and women. Okay, so example for this, no? Since it's gender is socially constructed concept, so when it comes to female, so among mothers or wives, no, or those who are having children, so sometimes they are being boxed that, oops, you have to stay at home because you have to take care of the children. You have to take care of the house. You have to clean the house. You have to cook. You have to prepare for your husband and for your children. So that's the expected gender role for female or the women who are into who are into motherhood. But when it comes to men, again, socially constructed. So men have to be the breadwinner, men have to work, men have to look for a job so that he can feed his family and many more. No? So that's gender roles. And of course, if you think of that, if you think of that for men and women, how do you think a man or a woman would feel and think about himself? No, it's like, oops, I'm being boxed. It's like I'm being limited with this kind of things that I can do, of which I can even do some things that my wife can do also, or that I can do some things that my husband can do also. So that's it. No, it's because it's being expected by the society. Then this is what's going on. And I hope at this time, no, at home in your respective homes, my dear learners, it's not like this that's happening. No? I hope everybody has a role to play with the household chores, no, with the things that is needed to be done, and siya, so that it can be fair, it can be equal, no. Again, we can all be equal, but again, it has to start it on our own selves and our own homes. Okay, next. So there are agencies of gender socialization. So there are agencies wherein gender is being portrayed. No, it really starts with family, and again followed with school, and then religion, and then media, and the rest of the sectors in the society. So here, the gender socialization takes place in four main ways, according to Anne Oakley. Anne Oakley is a feminist, no, and um she fo- uh, she she focused on this four main ways where the gender socialization really takes place. So whether a person is at home or in other like in the school. Okay, so there is this four main ways wherein gender socialization really happens. So first, manipulation. So at this time, so this manipulation refers to or refers to the time when parents encourage behavior which is seen as normal and discourage what is seen as deviant. So for example, so a parent tells her daughter, or a mother tells her daughter of more than sons for playing rough, no? Oh, ayaw dira. Ayaw lagi din na kay babayi ka. Ayaw dira pagduwa kay maunsa unya ka. Okay ra to imong manghod kay laki man to siya, no? So bata pa siya, that's what he or she is being thought about. That's what he or she is always hearing from the family or from home. So that's manipulation. Another is canalization. This is not a channeling. This is not when the parents channel children's interest into toys and activities seen as normal for his or her sex. So just like for example, because your child is a girl, okay, tanaw na to kung you have experienced this one. Because you are a girl, then you're being channeled into interest to childcare, home care, or appearance, no? Through playing dolls, no? Okay, kay bayi man ka, kani imong duwaon, palitan ti ka og doll, no? Or palitan ti ka og pink nga dress kay bayi man ka, okay? Or, uy, ayaw blaag na ka kay nang bayi ra ba ka? You have to be here in home, no? Okay na tayo mo manghod nga laki kay kamao man to, kusgan man to. So, ingon ana nga mga canalization, channeling such child's interest. So, because kani kay bayi man ka or laki man ka, mo ni mong duwaon. These are the activities that you need to focus on. No? Because this is your laki or bayi ka. So that's canalization. Another is verbal appellation. So appellations, no? So this is not a time when names that children are called, which teaches them to identify with appropriate gender. So it's like, for example, if you can hear some parents who would tell their children that because naka perfect in sa school, so the parent would address that, good girl, you're a smart girl, okay? Or another is because the his child or his son has been called by a disciplinarian, and then here's a parent who is calling his child as, oops, you're a naughty child. No? Naughty lagi kay ka anak, no? Tungod ba kay lucky ka? Okay. So, na yung mga ingon ana, verbal affiliations. Okay. So, there are statements which are really thrown to such sexes. Okay. And last one is activity exposure. So, there are now, this is now the time when children are encouraged to involve themselves in different activities. So, example here are, oh, some examples are being already mentioned by me, no? But another example for this is boys are given more freedom to play outdoors. Or another is girls are more encouraged to help around in the house, no? Kinahanglan adto gyud ka ni mama anak kay bayi ra ba ka? Okay? Adto kang papanak kuyog ra ka adto niya. Or mao ni buhata ra kay laki man ka no, okay ra magbahalag madamag ka, okay ra. Okay. So na yung mga ingon ana. So it's more of really, it really differs, no? It really differs, and it's really shocking also because again it really starts at home, no? And I hope this kind of socialization is not happening at the moment in your homes, or you have experienced that one, and so you know what to do already when you become parents someday also, or when you become adults who will be taking care of children at some point. Okay. Next, so now, because of those gender socialization, so again, gender stereotyping and gender-based inequalities are being witnessed, no? And again, as I have mentioned, it really starts at home. So again, it begins, again, gender stereotyping and inequalities really begins in the family or homes through even the onset of child caring and rearing. So if you're familiar with gender reveal, no? Okay, I was able to experience that gender reveal, no, from someone whom I also know, no. It's something what I have really observed, even if I haven't experienced it with a friend or with someone else, but looking on that thought that they're having a gender reveal, it's much like oops, ngano man ni? What's happening at this time na di ay? Because again, there is color pink. And then when it says that it's color pink, then that's girl. And then here is this color blue, and then it's a boy. So again, gender stereotyping really starts there, no? The child is not yet given birth, but then there is already gender stereotyping which has been happening, no? And so when the result of, or when, what is this, if the result is disclosed already, which it tells if it's a girl, oops, daghan kayong balloon nga color pink. Oh, di ba? If lalaki, daghan kayong color nga balloons nga color blue. Or when it comes to clothes, pink dresses, depende, pink socks, tanan gyud gikan sa headbands color pink, padung sa shoes and socks pink tanan or blue tanan, no? There are also toys. Toys may also vary because she's a girl, then mostly of her toys are dolls. What else? Luto-luto, no? Okay. So, when it comes to boys, na pa yung mga toys nga truck, cars, no? Guns, depende unsa. Or mga heavy blocks, no? Ano yung sa mga boys, no? Ano yung mga gaan-gaan sa mga girls kay basin unya unsa man. And they also differ in different activities, no? This is for girls and this is for boys, no? Imagine as early as on that time, pag ipanganak na anay gender stereotyping which is really happening. Okay. So another gender socialization also happens in school, no? Okay, because you're in school, so let's try to reminisce some of those experiences of yours, no? Or even at this time that you're college also. So in nursery and kindergarten classes, boys and girls are taught what toys and games are appropriate for your gender. Okay, so if you can still, if you still remember, when you were still in kindergarten or nursery years or in your early years, then kung sa man ang inyong madumduman ato time nga, you're really being classified as you're a male and you have to do this one, you have to play this one, and you're a female, this is just what you need to play, no? So like heavy blocks, guns, trucks, and cars are for boys, and homemaking and dolls are for girls, no? Balay-balay. Ara ratas mga girls, ay, kay magbalay-balay rata, oy. No? Of which, boys can even play with the girls with those toys. Or the girls can also play with heavy blocks. They can even hold guns, gun toys, or trucks and cars, no? I'm really amazed with children or with parents who are really opening the idea that girls can play such things or toys which are being played by boys, no? And boys can, their sons can play some toys which are also played by girls. So sometimes man God, no, when these children are playing with this kind of toys from the different sexes, hadn't they connotation hala, oy, bayat man siguro ni siya, oy, no, hala, oy, nga nung manaingunani ni siya, oy, diba? So, it's so sad nga magikan siya sa ato ang mga adults. And I hope at this time, hinahinay gid nga mo open, no, ang tanan. That, again, children can really enjoy their children life, no? Um, they can play what they want to play as long as it's safe for them, no? It's not being limited by such socially constructed norms. Okay. So another is in school, the traditional beginnings of the traditional classroom happen, no? So saying good morning, boys and girls, it already emphasizes the differences of males and females, no? Good morning, boys. Tingog din ng mga boys. Good morning, girls. Tingog din ng mga girls. And then, compare din kasi mas abtik o kinsaya. Yeah. No, kanina na. Another is the notion that males or the boys excel more in math and females excel in arts. Well, imagine when in fact there are also females who are excelling in math and there are also males who are excelling in arts. Diba? Okay. So the idea that boys and girls are naturally better at certain things is part of the past ignorance of the difference between the biological sex and the socially constructed gender. So hopefully at this time, no, um, the teachers or the adults, no, can are really sensitive enough with the things that they are telling to the learners or even you, my dear learners, no? I hope you are all sensitive. You are all conscious with the things that you are telling to somebody else or to your classmates right now. No? Si mayon adto ta magpatudlo ni John kay kamaog na siya og math. Kamaong gini mga laki og math. Unya, wala ta kahibaw nga si John di ay unsa man gikapoy na po na siya og prove sa iyang self nga kamao siya math. Gikapoy pud siya og tudlo og math. Basin di ay naapay mga uban pang females di ay nga makamao pud ana. So kana siya learners. We have to be very careful with those statements. Okay, next. In the classroom, there is also that is also happening, no? Like because again, teachers call on boys more often and spend more time with them or as adapted ana. So since boys are before or even but at this time, our boys still observed to be the langas ones o kana bang moving in the classroom, mobile in the classroom. So that's why because they're misbehaving in the classroom more ang mga boys, then teachers are calling boys and giving them challenging questions. And then again, teachers have to wait longer for boys to answer. No, imagine. So, and it really urged boys to try harder. Because again, oops, sige ka na kaglangas ha, wala ka naminaw na ako. Paning kamo. Of which, maybe there are also girls who are not observed to be like that, pero walang yun siguro nakit-an, unya, mauna. Boys kanunay mapahimtang jud, no? So, kana siya. Okay, that is some of the classroom situations. How about in your classrooms, my dear college students? Are there things like that happening? Okay, and if wala magani, then that's a very good one. That's a gender-sensitive classroom. Okay, another agency is in the church or the religion. So, for example, in the Catholic, no, in the religion of the Catholic religion. So, we would really be we would really see that the Catholics are really governed mostly by men, no? Though there are already developments right now na anay mga lay ministers nga mga women, na anay mga lay ministers nga pakalawat. Another is, what else? Unsa pa? So, there are developments, but mostly it's still outnumbered by the men in the church. Okay. Okay, another is media. So here, feminists are critical of a range of mass media that socialize females into either domestic or sexualized patterns of femininity. So there are still photos of women who are uh, what is this? Wearing mostly no kanang really how do you call this one? It's sexualized patterns of femininity, no? Another is popular literature, especially fairy tales and children's storybooks, portray females as the weaker sex and males as heroes, no? So there are storybooks for the children wherein it portrays females as the weaker character. No, nara kanunay sa balay. Maid. What else? Sa man kanang mga what na ay mga katong mga sa una bitaw nga Cinderella. So girls were or Cinderella was really at home, no, while her sisters or stepsisters are doing well, while she is kana siya. There are also stories wherein males are always the heroes, no? So, kana siya. And in media or in newspapers or even in social media, so women are, not may mga women, but they look really different from the men itself, no? Men, there are still portraits or pictures of men who are their image are more successful, and siya. There are also female, but there are more male pa gyud nga. Mas nakitaan nga mas maayo ang image nila. Okay, next. So in media, these constructed or mediated realities may have normative or prescriptive values. So it is somehow that the media is portraying an ideal man, an ideal woman. So ideal man, so Adonis, no? Macho, guapo, ngani kapurma dugyod, no? So that's the ideal man dayon, no? When it comes to ideal woman, so for example, Barbie is thin, and so everybody can be thin, no? So na siya mga ideal woman. Uy, ngani ang trending karon. So this is now the ideal woman which has to be followed, no? And just because of media, my dear learners. Okay? Basin ba yan ay mga ideals na ana nga dili na di siya haom nato. So we have to be very careful with that. Because again, gender issues are also coming from those agencies. Next, masculinity and sports media. So if you can observe there, sports is being dominated by men. Although there are already women, but there are still more men in the sports media. It transmits powerful ideas about manliness and masculinity, no? Strong, gutsy, brilliant, big, more athletic, no, ang mga men, no? Kana siya. Another is, when it comes to women and sports, women only occupy usually 2% of airtime. No, gamay ra gyud na. Mubo ra. Another is, sports commentators describe women athletes as panic, dali ra mapanic, ma-fatigue, weary, vulnerable, weaker than these athletes, ingon ana. Ma-compare siya. And then another are, photos are sexualized, emphasizes the beauty rather the game. No, there are instances that women's body are really focused rather than the game. Ay, gwapa ni siya. Mo ni siya mo, nag-focus gid siya. Okay. Next, images of men in media. So the thing that I mentioned a while ago, men are being portrayed in the media as more successful. They have really experiencing their own leisures and good life are for male. And it's like boys and men shape the future, no, because it's being expected by them. Men are firm, decisive, strong, and possess leadership qualities. That's the image of men in media. So women in advertising, no, it really focuses on slenderness, diet, attaining a feminine ideal as not just thin but also weak and vulnerable. No, women are also given love teams. It's like I'm sure you know some of the issues right now in the media industry. Women are gauged by the ability to catch a man. Imagine, ingon ana ang pagtanaw sa mga women at this time, the society, no? Kana siya. But there are already developments, but there are still like that. Especially that we differ with culture, we differ with history, no? Kana siya. Okay, in the business or marketing field, there are still more men who are really progressing in business opportunities, really given executive positions and really have higher wage rates than women. Though there are women who are already in the field, but still it's so sad that they're experiencing trafficking and sexual harassment. No? Cannot see it. And sometimes it's being justified. It's not sexual harassment. And that's so sad with women who are experiencing those kind of realities, those kinds of concerns. So that's why you, my dear college learners right now, no, then you will, right now that you are preparing for your career world, for your career experience, and practice yourself to really speak up. Know your rights, know your responsibilities so that you can take care of yourselves. No, whether you're a man or a woman. Okay? Okay. Next, in the politics, there are still more men who rule, no, who lead the society. Mudagan for position, no? Okay. There are lawmaking personnel who are still more of men, outnumbered pa gid ang na siya. So there are women but still mas daghan pa gid ang mga men. So basin naa sa ato ang grupo karon, no, ang mga kababayenhan, mga lalaki, ato i-encourage ang atong mga babae. Okay. Okay. So because of uneven and unjust gender power relations, women and men are boxed into situations which constrain the men and women's capacity to do and capacity to be. Because again, the society continues to box, to limit, no, men and women in many different ways. So the capacity to do and to be is being blocked also. And that's so sad about it. Okay? So the capacity to do means the ability or power. Okay, learners? So when you have the ability or power, you can really be more productive and satisfying in your studies and work. You have your own control over one's income when you will be working and you can benefit from it. Another is to enjoy nature and natural environment, no? Wala ka gigil limitahan. You're being, you are fed with the natural things that you can really do as a man or woman to procreate and rear children, no? Okay, there are cases like you want to have your own children or you want to adopt, no? So kanang yun ana. So you are given your own capacity to do such things, to care for others, to travel in search of opportunities and many more because you are capacitated to do. You have the ability or the power to do such things, no? Kung wala kag limitahan. Okay, the capacity to be means your right and the opportunity that you can experience. So you can be more knowledgeable and skillful, no, because you are given you're being trusted, no. So kaya man nimo. So I know you can really do such thing. You are more knowledgeable for that, and you can do a good result. You can be healthy. You are more confident of one's own abilities, no? And you are comfortable with your own achievements, independence, and power without any ansaman, thoughts from the expected thoughts or expected roles or behavior or attitudes from the society. Because again, it's you that's been given the capacity to do and capacity to be, no? Whether you are a man or woman, or in your own at this time your own orientation or how you see your identity at the moment, no, because you're given the chance to experience those, then mas nindot, mas daghan ka ma-experience na mas labing maayo ug mas healthy sa kadaghanan. Okay. So gender issues and concerns. So I hopefully while you were listening to me, you're listening to me at the moment. I hope you are seeing such things which we can really say it's a gender issue, it's a gender concern, it's a gender problem. So these are issues, concerns, or problems arising from the societal expectations. Imagine, no? There are already problems which are coming only from the societal expectations and perceptions on the roles of women and men that impedes one's opportunity to participate in development process. No? Cannot siya. So that's why what I have told you a while ago, that we have to be very conscious with the statements that we are telling to somebody else, because we might be limiting her or him. We might be able to box him or her of the things, of the behavior, of the attitudes that he has to do or she has to do, which would result to not being able to participate, not being able to experience the opportunities which can be experienced unta niya. So there, no? Once this societal expectations and perceptions are always being heard, being observed, then gender issues and concerns would really not stop. Okay, now there are gender biases against men because again, there is this gender roles or expectations. So muna siya, there are times that the men would really feel biased. No? May mga biases, gender biases against men. So it says like it's the man is inherently aggressive and violent, no? Abi kay lalaki, aggressive na dayon and violent na ni siya ang mas nakita. Or the men don't feel pain or incapable of experiencing human relations. Or men inherently expressive in their sexuality, or the men don't need closeness, reassurance, and attention, and etc. Ang pinakasakit pagid ani learners, men think The man thinks that he's not allowed to cry. No? Of which crying is so healthy for our eyes. Okay. Kinsa may mga laki nga muhilak gid ani. Oh, ma'am, oy, na ani, hilom lang gid ma'am, tago lang siguro ma'am. Okay. Boys, or the men here, remember it's okay to feel or it's okay to cry at some time, at some point. Okay? Tao raman, oy, no? That's it. That's something really hurting at some point, no? When it comes to gender biases against men. It's like men are not allowed to express their weaknesses, to show their weaknesses, to show nga gikapoy ko, no? Uyang pud ko oy, di ba? Manana. So ang men karon, I hope you will not be shy on expressing yourselves. And I'm sure if you're having difficulties right now, always approach your guidance counselor. I can really assure to you that you are really safe to be with your guidance counselor, Miss Grace. Okay, Miss Grace. Okay, next. Another is gender issues and biases affect more to women. So around a while ago, we have gender biases which are being experienced by the men. And right now, it also affects women. Okay, so I hope the learners here are really conscious, no? What's going on at home? Because it really starts at home good. What's being taught and fed up there would most likely be brought by you when you'll when you'll be in the school or wherever you will be in the society. So there are manifestations of gender biases. So first, again, since it's biases, it's gender biases, there is really an effect to that, a negative impact or effect on the personhood. No? So we will know about it after. Another, the gender biases among women which are being experienced is the violence against women. Physical, emotional, verbal, or sexual violence, no? That's being experienced by women. In such cases, there are even cases right now, no, because of violence. And so, women and men, hopefully, who you are at the moment, who you are with at the moment, no, I hope both of you are really conscious, really sensitive enough of the things which are not right, which are not healthy already, no? So that it will not lead to violence. Okay? Okay. We'll not wait for something to happen. Because if it's not healthy, then we know what to do already. Okay. So we need to be open to that notion. Okay? So if violence is happening at home, the question here is, who are you asking for help at the moment? Who is this person at home that is experiencing violence and why? And then assess, is there still a chance that this violence will be stopped? In what way? Who can help you with that? So I hope we are able to assess and we are able to reach for help before anything worse will happen. Another manifestation of gender bias is among women is marginalization. No, women are all again in many years. Women are really like left out as at some point. No, in many ways, in many sectors or in many activities, left out or maawahi, not given the chance to shine. Ang women, or if there are chances right now, okay, I hope it will continue. Yeah, women are given the chances to explore, to shine, to help in the addressing of some issues in the society. No, we also have subordination. We also have multiple burden for those women or mothers or wives or learners who are working for 8 hours. And then after nigabot sa house, mong trabaho pag yun sa balay, no? magluto, manglaba, manghugas sa mga plato, tanan-tanan. It's multiple burden. Naapay bata at timanon. Where are the men at some point? No? So, maybe there are families who are already not having this kind of setup. But how about those who are still experiencing? That's really sad to know if naapag yun siyang multiple burden. And then the gender stereotyping. Again, gender stereotyping. Again, atong istoryahan ganiha. It's like, oops, I just hope it will stop during sa pagbuntis pa lang daan, no? So, mas hindi ay pwede ang color orange sa mga girls or boys. Bas hindi ay sa boys, color green, no? Or bas hindi ay pwede ang pink sa boys. Pwede pud ang boys sa, pwede pud ang girls sa blue, no? May mga ingunana nga mga butang. Because it really starts there, the gender stereotyping. Okay. Next. So here, with all the gender biases for both men and women, there is really a negative effect on the personhood. So again, no self-determination and self-actualization, not being able to do what he or she wants to do. Or somebody will have low self-esteem or lack of self-confidence, no? She or he is not able to see her own capacity to do such things because again, she told herself or she heard himself nga, uy ba, laki man ka, so dili ka ani pwede, di man ni kaya, uy bayi man ka, dili ka ani pwede, uy, diba? Or the inability to set higher goals just because a person is being boxed or limited. It results to inability to set higher goals. Imagine, we do not know. She or he has big goals on his life. But because he heard somebody else nga, mauro ni mong kaya, anak ra kakutob, then wala na ang yung higher goals. So I hope we are really careful with that because this starts with, kani siya, always starts with self-giving. Really starts at home. And I hope we can do such thing with the help of you, my dear learners. So gender and development is about recognizing that gender biases impede development because they prevent people from attaining their full potentials. No? Because somebody is being limited, then he or she cannot exercise or do her full potentials. No? And again, gender biases worsens social inequity and inequality. Many times we heard that we are all equal, but then again, are we treated equally? No? So, it's like, it's really good, gani, no, at this time, our government, they're already, in some offices, no, there are for anay linya para sa ato ang mga kababayenhan nga buntis, para sa atong mga senior citizen, or naay mga gipamati, no? Kana siya. So nanaingon ana, at least, while we treat everyone equally, we are also given the chances to be treated with the things or we are being handled with or answered ang ato ang mga needs, no? Yan. Despite sa ato ang mga tagsa-tagsa ka mga experiences or status in life, no? Kaya na siya. So, if you see or mag-line ba mo din ha sa inyong pagpauli, makabantay ba mo din ha og mga babae nga buntis, basin baya pwede sila mauna, no? It's a good act also. Being kind to them. The least that we can do, when it comes to gender, is to respect, to be kind to these people. Okay. And so if you think they need that help from you, and you give it, hindot kaayo siya. But if you think you need more of it, then it's okay. That's also your choice. Okay? And again, gender biases also distort the understanding of social realities, no? Sometimes we do not know already that men can do such things which are done by women. no? Or women can do such things which are done by men, no? Mas pwede pa kaayo ang mga babay nga ay mga lalaki nga naapod sa house pod, nanapoy uban ana, pero di mo mapalabi pod, no? Kay basin di ay ikapoy pod ang mga babay. So na yung mga ingon ana, we need to be sensitive enough, no? With the roles we are playing, no? Kana siya. Okay, development is for all. So justice and equity demands that everyone in society, whether male or female, has the right to the same opportunities to achieve a full, satisfying, and peaceful life. Okay, so because development is for all, then again, all of us has the right for equality in equity, right, for the same opportunities to achieve a satisfying and peaceful life, no? Kana siya. And if that's not something healthy for one or nagkuwang pa, maybe there's something wrong about it. Okay, napay kuwang. Okay, so development that is gender responsive should expand or enlarge women's range of choices and opportunities. So hopefully, opportunities are not only for men as always. Opportunities are also seen that women can also have it. No, it's really expanded, not only for men. Okay, and women can also decide for themselves. Another is deliberately address obstacles to women's effective participation and their enjoyment of benefits and development. Yes. So hopefully women are able to participate, no, and fully enjoy the benefits of the development at this time. And it strengthened the capabilities to attain a full, satisfying, and peaceful life. Okay, it's really good that men and women will be in the picture of development, in the picture of resolutions, and the picture of planning, and many more. Okay, because again, we are all unique, and we have gifts, no? It's just that, lagi mga gipanglimitahan. O hinaot, we are willing to be more open at this time for both men and women because that is gender responsive. That is being gender sensitive. That is being gender fair. Okay. So what is gender sensitivity again? Again, remember, this is a perspective. This is a way of rethinking a manner of viewing things. So it's not only nga pang babae ra gid ni. Sorry gid mo mga boys, no? Or pang lalaki ni, di gid mo ang may ani mga babae, no? So again, in gender sensitivity, you are conscious of the gender issue. That even you, my dear learners, bisag estudyante pa mo, nakakita na mo nga, oops, this is bias already. This is discrimination. Why is this being experienced? And so what are you going to do? No? Know your rights, know your responsibilities of that. That the other half of humankind is unable to enjoy life to the fullest because of gender bias, no? So hopefully, learners, we are being sensitized at the moment. Okay? Okay. So actively promotes gender equality and equity and gender sensitivity. So we are now able to treat fairly and equally our classmates, no? Bisan pag nakahibaw ka, pobre ni siya, dato ni siya, no? Or bisag di ni siya kamao sa math or sa science, no? We are able to treat them fairly because they deserve it. Okay. Or we are able to help them in any way that they need, no? Unsang ilang need at the moment. Basin na ate classmate din nga naka-wheelchair. Basin pwede ta makatabang niya asa mandapita. Pero kinahanglan mangutana sa puka niya. Kung nakita nimo nga naglisod pa siya na. Okay. That's gender sensitivity. So due to continuous exposure and reinforcement of gender differences, gender roles and relations are resistant to change. They are really unwilling. There are there is this unwillingness to change. But again, learners, they still change. It's just that it takes time for them to change. Okay? So now, what is your vision of gender sensitive and fair society, my dear learners? I want you to answer this question. Okay. After that, write it on your paper and then give it to your guidance counselor. Okay? I will ask Ma'am Grace if you have submitted some answers of yours. Okay. So, tinudoon siya ni nako, Miss Grace, ha? Mangutan ako ni mog na mga ni answer about it. Another is, what can you do to achieve gender equality and equity, no, in your life as a learner and as a growing citizen of the society? Okay. So these are the two questions lang ha. What is your vision of a gender-sensitive and fair society? And what can you do to achieve gender equality and equity in your life as a learner and as a growing citizen? No? Before I'll have to end this one, I would also like to share my experience also in the institution that I'm connected with. No? Because one thing that we really believe nga naa siya sa among school is we are a gender fair school, no? And so learners, the boys and the girls, the females or males, are really given opportunities, no, for them to really exercise their talents, their skills, their knowledge, no? Even in the cleaning part of the classroom, boys can even manilhig, no? Girls can also, unsa man, mo'y mulabay sila mga basura, dili lang kanunay ang mga boys mo ay mugunit sa basurahan, ana siya. Okay. And then, boys and girls are given activities, no? They're really exposed to activities which can really be done by both sexes, no? So it's not being limited yun siya. Okay. So, kana siya. Everybody is treated equally because, again, in the eyes of God, we are all equal. And we can always be equal and be treated equally when we know how to respect and be kind to others. Okay? And it really starts in you, my dear learners, for us to be gender-sensitive and fair society. Whether you'll be at home after this learning session, whether you'll be in a terminal na magparking perting taasa, I hope you are able to see how you can be more gender sensitive and more fair to other people, even when you reach home. Okay? Okay. So, at this time, I'd like to share this poem. This is originally an English one, but I really love the Bisaya. No? So I just hope everybody at this time is mga bulano, no? Mga kamaong Bisaya, musabot og Bisaya. But I'll still have to tell you what is the title of this. So, for every woman. Okay. Or sa kada usa ka babay. This is by Nancy R. Smith, the year 1973. So I'm sharing to you a Visayan translation. Okay? Okay, let's listen to this. Sa kada babayi nga gikapuyan na sa pagkamahuyang, bisan nakahibalo siyang sa iyang kalig-on, adunay lalaki nga gikapoy na sa pagpakaaron ingnon nga lig-on sa panahon nga mobati siyag kahuyang. Sa kada babayi nga nagikapuyan nga sa pagpakabugo, adunay lalaki nga gibug-atan sa makanunayong pagpatuo nga siya nahibalo sa tanang butang. Sa matag babayi nga gikapuyan na sa pagtawag kaniyag malumong kasing-kasing, adunay lalaking gihikawan sa katungod nga muhilak ug mupadayag sa iyang gibati. Sa matag babayi nga tawgong way angay kung makigsangka, adunay lalaki nga nagtuo nga ang pagpakigsangka maulang ang bugtong paagi sa pagpakalalaki. Sa matag babayi nga gikapuyan na sa kanunay nga pagtratar kaniya isip butang sa kaulag, Adunay lalaking nag-antos kay dili makahimo sa pakighilawas. Sa kada babayi nga mibati nga nahigot sa pagmatuto sa mga bata. Adunay lalaki nga gihikawan sa hingpit nga pagtagamtam sa katamis sa isa sa pagkaginikanan. Sa kada babayi nga gihikawan sa makahuluganong trabaho o patas nga suhol, adunay lalaki nga nag-antos nga nagsagubang sa galastuhan sa laing tawo. Sa matag babayi nga wala tudloi sa makuting gambalay sa usa ka awtong sakyanan, adunay lalaking gihikawan sa katagbaw sa usa ka maayong mangluluto. Sa kada babayi nga mga haspaglakang, padulong sa iyang kaugalingong kalingkawasan, adunay lalaki nga makaamgo nga nag-anam paggaan ang iyang panaw paingon sa kagawasan. Thank you so much, my dear learners. I hope you've got insights or learnings and realizations for this learning session. Remember, we can always have the gender equality if we started on ourselves. We help each other with that, and so everybody will be able to experience an inclusive society wherein everybody will be included in the development wherever we will be. Because again, we can always be equal if we choose to be equal. Thank you so much, and God bless everyone. See you around, and Miss Grace, daghan kaayong salamat o sa administration sa Tagbilaran City College. Daghan kaayong salamat ug amping kamong tanan.
Thank you so much, Miss Casey, for sharing your knowledge to our dear TCCians, and we hope that this will not be the last learning session we will have with you. How about you, my dear TCCians? If you have any takeaways from our webinar for today, please leave them in the comment section or the chat box. At this juncture, before we end our webinar, let us present the Certificate of Appreciation to Ms. Casey. City Government of Tagbilaran Certificate of Appreciation is proudly presented to Carleen Claire S. Ridulia, MA RGC, in sincere appreciation for sharing her invaluable time and expertise as resource speaker during the webinar on Introduction to God Concepts and Sexual Orientation, Gender Identity and Expression, and Sex Characteristics on March 17, 2023 at Tagbilaran City College via YouTube, given the 17th day of March 2023 at Tagbilaran City, Bohol. Signed by Ma'am Grace S. Dorosahento, RGC, and our GAD Chairperson, and Dr. Delmark A. Kagatin, our College Administrator. Again, reminders, my dear TCCians, the online evaluation form and attendance sheet will only be open until March 18, 2023 at 12 noon. Thank you very much, my dear TCCians, for your time, and we hope to see you on our next webinar. This is Nikki Danikay Patong, your host for today. Once again, daghang salamat, maayong hapon, ug amping!
Babae ako at may silbi sa lipunan di pa aapi. Isinusulong ko mga layunin, karapatan sa mga usapin. Sa edukasyon at pagsasanay, sa kahirap ang kalusugan taglay, pakikipaglaban sa karahasan, pati sa matungtong galian. Babae ako may panindigan, di matitinag kailan pa man. Babae ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan, malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan. Sinuan ako. Babae ako, kayang pamunuan, magdesisyon para sa karamihan. Mekanismong dulot ay pagunlad, sa kababaihang ipatutupad. Sa usaping ekonomiya, karapatang pagtaot ng media. Sa kabataan, kalikasan, usang ng buong sambayanan. Babae ako, may panindigan, di matitinag kailan pa man. Babae ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan, malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan. Sinuan ako. Ako si Juana, babaeng palaban, ang hamon ng buhay dito susukuan. Kung may kapal sa'yo'y nananali, handang harapin anuman ang palaki. Ako si Juana, babaeng palaban, ang hamon ng buhay dito susukuan. Sinuan ako, sinuan ako. Babae ako, may panindigan, di matitinag kailan pa man. Babae ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan, malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan. Babae ako. Babae ako na may karapatan, may boses, may kakayahan, malakas ang loob, pusong totoo, kayang-kaya ko, sinuan ako sa buong bansa at buong mundo'y pagsigawan. Sinuan ako. Sinuan ako. Sinuan ako. Sinuan ako. Sinuan ako.
Anong nilalaman ng iyong puso? Iyong mga mithing bilang babae, komplikado man ay laging positibo. Natanaw ang makabuluhang pagbabago, masupo ang karahasan at pang-aabuso. Malipol ang armadong tunggalian. Tumayo, sumigaw, ikalat ang balita, pantay-pantay lahat, walang pinagkaiba. Nararapat na ipaglaban ng tama, ang susi ay nasa atin, kababaihan. Ligtas na espasyo para sa batang babae, tamang pagsasanay at edukasyon ay kamitin. Kalusugan at kagalingan ay di may sandabi. Pangangalaga ng kalikas ay ating layunin. Pagtibayin ng dignidad at karapatang pantao. sumigaw, ikalat ang balita. Pantay-pantay lahat, walang pinagkaiba. Nararapat na ipaglaban ng tama. Ang susi ay nasa atin. Tumayo, sumigaw, ikalat ang balita. Pantay-pantay lahat, walang pinagkaiba. Nararapat na ipaglaban ng tama. Ang susi ay nasa atin. Kababaihan, kababaihan. Kamangha-mangha talaga, huwala. Ang kahirapan, kaya mong labanan. Ang iyong karapatan, hindi mo bibitawan. Ang karahasan, di mo papayagan. Ang iyong kaalaman ay sadya mong yaman. Sa dilim papansin ng iyong taglay na liwanag. Kumikinang, umaapaw sa kagandahan. Sa tibay mo't husay, talisay kang tunay. Mahalaga ka talaga sa ating bayan. Kamangha-mangha talaga, huwala. Di ka kukupas dahil ikaw ay ginto. Ginto. Ikaw ay ginto. Kapaligiran sa'yo'y mahalaga. Bigay mo ka na sakit na walang katapusan. Kalusugan mo't prinsipyo ay mahalaga. Lahat tayo'y pantay, hindi dapat na iba. Ang iyong kalaman di babahagi sa karamihan. Hinding-hindi ka panghihinaan. Kahit ang mga batang kababaihan, may taglaring kamangha-mangha. Kamangha-mangha talaga, huwala. Di ka kukupas dahil ikaw ay ginto. Ginto. Ikaw ay ginto. Kaya mong itaguyod ang karapatang pantao. Kung kaya nila, kaya mo rin ito. Kaya't huwag mong kalimutan, ikaw ay ginto.
Dapat bigyan ng halaga. Lahat ng tayo nagmula sa iyong sinapupunan. Ikaw may karapatang magdesisyon. Ang bagno sa ekonomiya ay hindi naiba. Hindi naiba sa aming kalalakihan. Isigaw sa maglabayan ang iyong kakayahan. Sa kaunlaran malaki ang iyong maiambag. Ika'y dito dapat bigyan ng
Sa
karangalan.
tibay mo't husay, talisay kang tunay. May taglaring kamangha-mangha. Kamangha-mangha talaga, huwala. Di ka kukupas dahil ikaw ay kamangha-mangha talaga, huwala. Di ka kukupas dahil ikaw ay ginto. Ginto. Ikaw ay ginto. 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 Ikaw ay ginto. Ikaw ay ginto. Ikaw ay may kakayahan, huwag matakot. pagsabayan sa pamumuno ng isang bayan, pagsulong ng kapayapaan, pag-aalaga ng kalikasan, ang kaisipan ay huwag limitahan. Kung wala, ika'y may angking, talino't husay, ika'y dakila, taglay mong galing ay di maikakaila. San mang panig ng mundo, sa tahanan